public life. I offer my salutations to the bar on this occasion. Jai Hind.
Established in 1922, the Nagpur High Court Bar Association has a rich history. Over the years, numerous dedicated legal professionals have made their mark within its walls, significantly influencing the legal scene in the region. The HCBA proudly tells the world that some of the distinguished legal minds in the country have their roots here. Their contributions have left an unmatched imprint upon the fabric of Indian jurisprudence. Among the early luminaries stand Dr. Hari Singh Gaur, a polymath, jurist, scholar, and social reformer. He was the inaugural president of the Bar Association and served as such for nearly 2 decades. His seminal works such as The Law of Transfer in British India and The Penal Law of British India continue to reverberate through legal circles. Justice Vivian Bose, a distinguished lawyer, jurist, and academician, occupied esteemed positions including that of Principal of the University Law College, Member of the Commissioners Court and Chief Justice of the Nagpur High Court, ultimately rising to the Apex Court of India. Advocate M.R. Bobde, known for his unwavering ethical standards, carved a distinguished career spanning generations, with his nephew's son and grandson following his footsteps to become prominent legal names in the legal fraternity. In the post-independence era, luminaries such as Justice Muhammad Hidayatullah blazed a trail, ascending to the positions of Chief Justice of India, Vice President of India, and Acting President of India. His landmark judgments continue to shape the contours of Indian jurisprudence to this day. Dr. M.B. Neogi, a versatile personality, distinguished himself not only as a lawyer and judge, but also as an educationist and social reformer, culminating in his tenure as the officiating Chief Justice of the Nagpur High Court. Justice J.R. Mudholkar was more than a jurist. His profound understanding of the subject and unwavering commitment to justice earned him widespread respect and admiration. Justice A.P. Sen ascended from the ranks of the Nagpur High Court Bar Association to the highest court of the land. Bapuji Ane, an accomplished lawyer and freedom fighter, strongly voiced his demand for a separate state of Vidarbha, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire generations. Barrister M.Y. Sharif, a freedom fighter, lawyer and educator, exemplified the ethos of service and sacrifice. Justice M.N. Chandorkar, whose ascent from lawyer to Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court and Madras High Court serves as a testament to his legal acumen and unwavering commitment to justice. Justice C.S. Dharmadhikari retired as the acting Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court in the year 1989. He was a great Gandhian thinker and the only Padma Bhushan awardee from this esteemed bar. His chamber has produced several senior advocates and judges of the Bombay High Court. Advocate Vasant Sathe, a socialist leader and union minister, played a pivotal role in shaping India's legislative landscape. Senior advocate Arvind Bobde, alias Bhau Sahib, who was the first person from Vidarbha to serve as an advocate general for the state of Maharashtra. His elder generation, Senior Advocate Vinod Bobde, was a distinguished member of the Supreme Court Bar Association and one of the youngest lawyers to be designated as a senior advocate by the Honorable Supreme Court of India at a young age of 36 years. Mr. V.R. Manohar, Senior Advocate, Dewan of this bar, has ruled this court and many other courts across India for several decades. Well known for his exceptional legal expertise, ease with courts and skill to simplify complicated matters, he had an exceptional command in the field of criminal law. He has served as the Advocate General for the state of Maharashtra from 1991 to 93. He has also served as the president of Vidarbha Cricket Association, and his love for cricket is also shared by his son, Advocate Shashank Manohar, who has served as the president of the Board of Control for Cricket in India, BCCI, and as the chairman of the International Cricket Council, ICC. His younger son, Senior Advocate Sunil Manohar, has also followed his footsteps and served as the Advocate General for the state of Maharashtra from November 2014 to 15 and continues to regale our courts with his impressive arguments. His daughter, Honorable Justice Vasanti Naik, has also practiced as a civil and constitutional lawyer and is the first lady member of this bar to adorn the bench. Justice Vikas Sirpurkar's journey from the Nagpur High Court Bar Association to the Supreme Court exemplified the association's legacy of producing legal luminaries. His judgments reflected empathy, fairness, and unwavering integrity. Justice Sharad Bobde, whose early practice began at the Nagpur High Court Bar Association, rose to become Chief Justice of India. Known for his keen legal mind and exemplary judicial temperament, his judgments left an indelible mark on Indian jurisprudence. Justice Bhushan Gavaí is another hallmark of success of the Nagpur Bar, having risen to the apex court at a young age and authored landmark decisions towards social justice. The bar keenly awaits his lordship's path towards future laurels.
It's a matter of great pleasure that we are celebrating the centenary of the establishment of the Nagpur High Court Bar Association. It's a great pleasure for me to be a part of these celebrations, not as a judge of the Supreme Court of India, but as a member of this august association, which made me what I am today. I recollect my early years when as a junior member of the Bar Association, we grew up listening to the arguments of the doyens of this bar, Bobde, Shri V.R. Manohar, Shri K.H. Deshpande, Shri Chandrachud Madkulkar, Shri P.G. Parshikar, amongst some of them. I can also refer to some of the names who were somewhat...
Our esteemed dignitaries have arrived. I request all those who are standing by the red carpet to kindly step back a little bit or take their places so that there will be a clear pathway for our guests to come up on stage. Thank you. As we await the arrival of our dignitaries, I once again request all those who are standing on the red carpet to kindly clear space for our dignitaries to arrive. Thank you. I request all those who are standing to kindly occupy their places. For all those guests who are standing at the back, there are a few chairs which look vacant on my right side near the porch. I request our esteemed guests and members of the fraternity to kindly occupy the chairs which seem vacant on your left. Thank you. I request all our guests who are standing at the back to kindly take their places near the small canteen. I'm told there are about 15 rows of chairs which are available so that you all can sit and listen to our Chief Justice comfortably. I request all those who are standing at the back to kindly occupy the vacant places which are available for you all. Thank you. Our esteemed dignitaries have arrived and will be joining us in the next few minutes. Our guests have arrived. I request everyone to join us in welcoming our distinguished guests. I request Advocate Atul Pandey and Advocate Amol Jaltare to kindly escort our esteemed dignitaries onto the dais.
Honorable Dr. Justice Dhananjaya Chandrachud, the Honorable, the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Shri Justice B.R. Gavaí, Judge, Supreme Court of India, Honorable Shri Justice Abhay, Judge, Supreme Court of India, Honorable Shri Justice Prasanna Varale, Judge, Supreme Court of India, Honorable Shri Justice Sharad Bobde, former Chief Justice of India, Honorable Shri Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyaya, the Honorable, the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Honorable Shri Justice Nitin Sambre, Administrative Judge, Bombay High Court Nagpur Bench, Shri Birendra Saraf, Learned Advocate General of Maharashtra, Honorable Judges of the Bombay High Court, distinguished former judges, esteemed members of the judiciary, senior advocates present, members of the legal fraternity, respected guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the High Court Bar Association, I, Shad Mirza, along with Advocate Radhika Bajaj, welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of Centenary Year celebration of the High Court Bar Association in Nagpur.
A moment comes, which comes but rarely in history, when we step out from the old to the new. In these eternal words of Jawaharlal Nehru, I welcome you all to rejoice in the reverence of a glorious past, the commemoration of a magnificent present, and a hope for a wonderful future ahead for the High Court Bar Association, Nagpur. As we celebrate a century of our existence, filled with stories that have shaped generations, we are delighted to welcome you all to partake in this small piece of history we are about to script today. At the outset, I request Advocate Atul Pandey, President of the High Court Bar Association, to deliver his welcome address.
Namaskar, good evening. Chief guest of today's function, Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India. Today's guest of honor, Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan Gavaí, Honorable Shri Justice Abhay, Honorable Shri Justice Prasanna Varale, Honorable Judges of Supreme Court of India, former Chief Justice of India, Honorable Shri Justice Sharad Bobde, sir, Honorable Shri Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyaya, the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Honorable Shri Justice Nitin Sambre, Administrative Judge, Bombay High Court, Nagpur Bench, Dr. Birendra Saraf, Advocate General, State of Maharashtra, Honorable sitting and former judges of Bombay High Court, Honorable judicial members, distinguished senior counsels, esteemed members of HCBA, respected guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is immense pleasure and profound gratitude that I stand before you today to extend a heartfelt welcome to one and all as we gather to celebrate a momentous occasion, the centenary year of our High Court Bar Association, Nagpur. Sir, your presence today lends an unparalleled dignity and significance to our centenary celebrations. Your wisdom, experience, and commitment to the cause of justice serve as a guiding light for all of us. My lords, we are deeply honored by your presence, and we are immensely grateful for your precious time by joining us in celebrating this historic milestone. Your support and encouragement mean the world to us. We are truly humbled by the opportunity to share this special moment with you. The place where we have all assembled to celebrate this historic occasion has been witness to some of the most scintillating moments of the journey which shaped the destiny of our nation. We are celebrating a legacy forged by the sweat and sacrifices by generations of legal luminaries of our bar who dare to dream of a world where justice reigns supreme. The inception of the first constitution of High Court Bar Association Nagpur on October 9, 1928 marked the beginning of its active engagement. Since then, the association has maintained a proactive stand, evidenced by its thorough review and discussions of proposed law with the subsequent suggestion forwarded to the government. This bar association, which we proudly call HCBA Nagpur, has created history by giving Chief Justices of India like Justice M. Hidayatullah, who was also the first citizen of our country for a brief period. History repeated again when Justice Sharad Bobde served as 47th Chief Justice of India. HCBA Nagpur is known for its perfect blend of erection, integrity, and fearless forthrightness. This bar has contributed brilliant Supreme Court judges, Chief Justices of High Courts, Advocate Generals, legal luminaries, and jurists. The list is unending, but to mention a few among them are Justice Vivian Bose, Justice Mudholkar, Justice A.P. Sen, Justice V.S. Sirpurkar, Shri Bhaiya Sahib Bobde, late Shri A.S. Bobde, Senior Advocate Shri V.R. Manohar. My Lord, the High Court Bar Association Nagpur is committed to the cause of underprivileged and sections of society who do not have easy access to justice. The Nyadut project undertaken by our association is a perfect testimony of commitment to the said cause, wherein several members of the association visited remote and interior parts of Vidarbha to have first-hand information about problems and difficulties faced by masses in countryside and offer legal aid to them. The association also have a study circle known as late Shri Bobde Study Circle, wherein distinguished speaker and jurists are enlightening the members of the bar and budding lawyers by sharing their views on various topics. It is customary to say that the bar and bench are two wheels of the chariot of justice, but in my opinion, it will be rather appropriate to say that the bar and bench are the two powerful stallions which do not allow the chariot to go straight, but it runs with full momentum. As we look ahead to the next 100 years, let us reaffirm our commitment to the principles that have guided us so far: integrity, compassion, and impeccable dedication to the rule of law. There are still challenges ahead, but with unity, determination, and the unconditional support of our members, I am confident that we will continue to uphold the highest standards. Once again, welcome to our centenary celebrations. Welcome to the High Court Bar Association. May your presence here tonight inspire all of us to continue striving for excellence and upholding the noble ideals of justice and integrity that have guided our association for the past 100 years. It's truly an honor to be a part of this momentous occasion. Here's to a century of achievement and to the promising future ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Shri Justice Nitin Sambre has stood by the association in all its endeavors, and we still consider his lordship as one of our very own. My lord has also served as a secretary of the HCBA from 2003 to 2006. I request his lordship to kindly address the gathering.
Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, Justice Bhushan, Judge Supreme Court of India, Justice Abhay, Judge Supreme Court of India, Justice Prasanna, Varale, Judge Supreme Court of India, our own Chief Justice, Justice Devendra Upadhyaya, former Chief Justice of India, and my Guru, Justice Bobde, Advocate General Mr. Dr. Biren Saraf, office bearers of the association, my brother and sister judges, some of them all the way traveled from Aurangabad and Bombay to attend this centenary celebration inauguration. Former judges, Justice Sirpurkar, a very pleasant evening to you all. It's an honor to be here today to celebrate the centenary celebration of the High Court Bar Association Nagpur. As we stand on the threshold of this momentous occasion, I am filled with the sense of pride and awe at the rich history and heritage of this esteemed bar association. It is a cherished moment for all of us, amplified by the presence of Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, and other distinguished judges and former judges of the Supreme Court, as we celebrate the legacy, the achievements, and the unyielding pursuit of justice that defines the spirit of Nagpur High Court and High Court Bar Association Nagpur. The contribution of the former Chief Justice of India, Sharad Bobde, along with the contribution of Senior Judge of the Supreme Court of India, Justice B.R. Gavaí, in espousing the cause of this Bar Association is enormous. The public interest litigation initiated through High Court Bar Association Nagpur was pursued by both these stalwarts in their capacity as a member of the Bar Association, so also on the bench, which has led to this Bar Association to be the victorious in their gallant efforts. It is a matter of unparalleled pride for us to remember that the High Court Bar Association Nagpur has given our nation not one, but two Chief Justices of India, the erudite Justice Mohammad Hidayatullah and Justice Sharad Bobde. The legacy is poised to be further as we await the elevation of another of our distinguished member of High Court Bar Association Nagpur to the position of Chief Justice of India. Additionally, the High Court Bar Association Nagpur has served as a nurturing ground for exceptional legal talent and scholarly distinction. It has produced distinguished personalities who have acceded to the prominent position as Judge of Supreme Court of India, like Justice Sir Vivek Bose, Justice Mudolkar, Justice Sen, Justice Sirpurkar, Justice Gavaí, each leaving a significant imprint on the highest judicial forum in the country. I would like to highlight Justice Mudolkar's influential role in the conception of the basic structure doctrine. In the landmark case Sajjan Singh versus State of Rajasthan, Justice Mudolkar became the first to introduce this concept within the Indian legal framework. The High Court Bar Association Nagpur initially comprised of a distinguished group of 23 lawyers, led by Sir Hari Singh Gaur, a prominent figure in Indian law and academia, served as its inaugural president, and Shri K.V. Deuskar served as its secretary. Thereafter, the High Court Bar Association Nagpur, apart from erudite judges, also produced eminent lawyers including Shri N.B. Chandurkar, Barrister Fadke, led Bhausaheb Bobde, Shri Sangi, Shri K.H. Deshpande, Shri Vinod Bobde, Shri C.G. Madkolkar, P.G. Paishikar, and our own Shri V.R. Manohar. The legacy underscores not just the caliber of individual associated with the Bar Association, but also the enriched legal environment that facilitates such remarkable growth and contribution to the legal framework of our nation. Remarkably, the Nagpur bench prides itself on having the lowest case pendency rate in Maharashtra, a testament to the collaborative efforts of its bar members towards efficient justice administration system. In this light, as we gather here today, we are reminded of the rich judicial heritage that we inherit and profound responsibility that accompanies it. The illustrious path carved out by our predecessors, marked by integrity, dedication, and wisdom, guide us to advance the cause of justice, fostering legal scholarship and upholding the highest standard of judicial conduct. The Nagpur bench and its Bar Association stands as a testament to the century of judicial service, embodying the values of justice, independence, and integrity. It operates not merely as a court of law, but as an institution that shapes the society by interpreting and upholding the law, protecting the rights of individuals, and ensuring that the justice is accessible to all. The High Court Bar Association Nagpur has embraced modernity, adopting new technologies and practice to enhance its efficiency and outreach while remaining steadfast in the commitment of principles upon which it was founded. As it moves forward, the High Court Bar Association Nagpur continues to play a pivotal role in the legal and social history of Maharashtra, contributing significantly to the fabric of Indian democracy. With all this, I conclude here. I extend my thanks to the High Court Bar Association for giving me this opportunity, and I wish all the best to the Bar Association, its members, to have wonderful celebration of this centenary year. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord, for your enlightening words about our own bar. It is a privilege to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyaya, the Honorable the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, to our bar at Nagpur. In his lordship's short while with us, my lord's concern towards the litigants is evident, be it the registration of a PIL due to the inaction of the authorities under the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, or advising a young junior regarding the jurisdiction of the University Tribunal. I invite my lord to kindly address the gathering.
Honorable Dr. Justice Dhananjaya Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India. Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan R. Gavaí, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Justice Abhay, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Justice Prasanna B. Varale, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Shri Justice Sharad Bobde, former Chief Justice of India. Brother Justice Nitin Sambre, my esteemed brother and sister judges, present and former. Shri Birendra Saraf, Learned Advocate General of Maharashtra. Shri Parijat Pandey, Chairman Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa. Shri Atul Pandey, President High Court Bar Association, Nagpur. Mr. Jaltare, Secretary High Court Bar Association, Nagpur. Other office bearers of High Court Bar Association, senior advocates, other members of the bar, distinguished guests, members of the registry, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening and namaskar to all present here on this momentous occasion. I feel honored to be in the midst of this august gathering for the inaugural centenary year celebration of the High Court Bar Association, Nagpur. Completing 100 years is truly momentous and certainly requires celebration. This celebration is truly enriched with the glorious presence of the chief guest, our very own Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Dr. Justice Dhananjaya Chandrachud, and all other respected dignitaries. I sincerely extend my heartiest congratulations to all the members of the bar on this centenary event of the High Court Bar Association. Centenary celebration is a special occasion. It implies the continuance of the very core of rule of law and civilized society, rendering equitable and timely justice. It is an occasion to remember all those great members of the bar who contributed to the effective justice dispensation system. It is an honor for both the bar and the bench. It gives us an opportunity to reflect upon, to relive, and to preserve the rich legacy, the ethos and heritage which we have inherited from those great lawyers and legal luminaries, including judges and jurists. This is the stage when all the members should look back into the history of Nagpur Bar, which I am sure will make you proud and enable you to venture into future with the same vigor and zeal. The High Court Bar Association Nagpur has always contributed in upholding the rule of law by extending fullest cooperation and taking several initiatives on several issues from time to time. The reputation of Nagpur Bar is rock solid and reminiscent of rich legacy of having produced great legal minds and stalwarts, including reputed lawyers, judges, and advocate generals. It includes eminent personalities in the legal profession like Sir Dr. Hari Singh Gaur, Bhavani Shankar Niyogi, Shri M.R. Bobde, Shri D.T. Mangalmurthy, Shri M.Y. Sharif, Shri W.B. Pendhenkar, Shri A.S. Bobde, Shri V.R. Manohar, Shri C.S. Dharmadhikari, Shri B.A. Musodkar, Shri K.H. Deshpande, Shri P.H. Palshikar, Shri C.G. Madholkar, Shri R.B. Pendhenkar, Shri J.N. Chandrukar, and many more. This bar has always given to the bench brilliant judges, Chief Justices, and also judges of Supreme Court, including Chief Justices of India, who have set rich standards in inspiring and motivating all of us as perfect role models in the profession. Justice Vivian Bose, Justice Hidayatullah, Justice Madholkar, Justice A.P. Sen, and Justice V.S. Sirpurkar were from this bar, who rose to become judges of Supreme Court of India. Justice Hidayatullah and Justice Sharad Bobde, who is with us today and is privy to this glorious moment in the life of this bar, went on to become the Chief Justices of India. We are extremely fortunate to have with us a very, very distinguished member of Nagpur Bar, Justice Bhushan Gavaí, who is adorning the office of the judge of our Supreme Court. The members of bar who were elevated as judges and further as the Chief Justices of different high courts include Justice M.N. Chandurkar, Justice Ashok A. Desai, Justice J.N. Patel, Justice B.P. Dharmadhikari. The list includes many other members of the bar who are also elevated to the bench. Then there have been distinguished and illustrious lawyers from the Nagpur Bar, who had served as Advocate Generals in the state as well. This is all indicative of the sheer prowess and talent of the members of Nagpur Bar that has made it so proud and privileged. It was in 1922 when the then Bar Association for Lawyers at Nagpur was functional at the Judicial Commissioner's Court at Nagpur, with around 23 members, including Dr. Hari Singh Gaur as its president and Shri K.V. Devskar as its secretary. The momentum was set in, and thereafter there was no looking back. The bar members had put in numerous efforts for initiating various changes in the legal system, the policies and institutes of the government, establishment of High Court at Nagpur, and so on. It was in 1936 that the efforts of Nagpur Bar Association yielded in sanction of the High Court at Nagpur, which became fully functional in the year 1940. It is said, legal profession is noble. Lawyers are the officers of the court and are equal partners with the judges in the administration of justice. They have a duty to ensure smooth functioning of the court. It is also known that judges cannot discharge their functions of administration of justice unless there is an unwavering commitment, support, and active participation of the members of the bar. It is largely dependent on the competence and efficiency of the bar. With such hopes and expectations, it is the duty of the bar to take initiatives and maximum efforts in establishing an atmosphere suitable and beneficial to the entire legal fraternity, including the litigants and the judges. No organization can prove its worth overnight. Concerted efforts are required in building a conducive image and achieving the desired objectives and goals. The organization proceeds and excels on the right path with its members as its torch bearers. As members of the fraternity, the lawyers, as also the judges, have to be responsible, accountable, and transparent. The bar has to take an active role in inculcating such qualities in the lawyers. They need to be motivated to move ahead with the ethics and morals required for the profession. They need to be educated and trained very well. They need to adapt to the changing times and technological advancements and innovations. Such adaptability makes them accessible from all the corners, and only then they would prosper as an institution and strengthen the rule of law and the overall democratic quality of our nation. Law is ever evolving, and quite indeed, in the last 100 years, the legal system has undergone a huge transformation. We are in the age of information technology and artificial intelligence with numerous challenges. With such changes and evolution in the legal system, much greater role are attributed to all of us, be it lawyers, judges, or even litigants. The ultimate aim and goal should be to realize social responsibilities, making access to justice easier and maintaining rule of law in the society. Nagpur Bar, I believe, is living up to its expectations and making us all proud and happy. Today, it is with the rich legacy, sheer competence and image that it is celebrating 100 years of its remarkable and thriving existence. It's indeed commendable. I have no doubt that this bar will maintain its traditions, will achieve greater heights as a part of justice dispensation system and make it even prouder. I would conclude here by quoting a short poem by poetess Maya Anthony, who has written so well about the lawyers. In courts of law, they firmly stand. Guardians of justice command in hand. With every case, they take a stand. For truth and fairness, they demand. In robes of solemnity, wisdom's attire, they navigate the real mire. With every argument, they aspire to lift the truth ever higher. In halls of judgment, voices strong. For the right, they fight for the wrong. They fight the wrong. In their oath, they all belong. In justice's square, their lifelong song. Wishing you all the best for a grand centenary year ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my lord, for those enlightening words and the valuable advice. Honorable Shri Justice Sharad Bobde needs no introduction to the legal circles of Nagpur. His Lordship has been one of the stalwarts of the HCBA, scripting history with his erudite arguments at the bar and later with my lord's various landmark judgments from the bench. His lordship's tenure as the 47th Chief Justice of India further solidified his legacy as the jurist of exceptional merit. I request Honorable Shri Justice Sharad Bobde to kindly address the gathering.
Good evening. The Honorable Mr. Justice Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India, the Honorable Justice Bhushan Gavaí, the Judge Supreme Court of India, the Honorable Justice Abhay, Judge Supreme Court of India, the Honorable Justice Prasanna Varale, Judge Supreme Court of India, the Honorable Justice Nitin Sambre, Senior Judge at Nagpur, and maybe I should have said this name first, Shri Atul Pandey, the President of the High Court Bar, this is your function. Shri Jaltare, the Secretary of the Bar, the members of the Bar Association, distinguished judges of the Bombay High Court, former judges, former Chief Justices, distinguished colleagues from the bar, members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. It is always difficult for me to speak in Nagpur because it's difficult to stop taking names. One row after the other, I happily seem to know all of them. I forgot the Advocate General Maharashtra also, and the former Advocates General, Sri Ane and Gilda are also here, and many others. This is a privilege to be here, a singular privilege, because I was also here at the Platinum Jubilee celebrations of the High Court, of this Bar Association, yes, at the same venue. And I think maybe Justice Chandrachud, though was a judge, was not here. Lordship, you were not here. And I called him Lordship not because of any distance, but by trying to remove the distance. And I must tell you something very interesting, because this also has something to do with a terrific problem at the bar, namely about elevations and about becoming a judge. After 3 names from Bombay, Ajay Khanvilkar, Justice Ajay Khanvilkar, Lordship Chandrachud, and mine had been hanging fire for 2.5 years. One day in the regular phone call routine which we had established, I told Lordship Chandrachud, then I used to call him Dhananjaya or Dhan. I said, this is too much. So he came up with a bright idea, why don't we withdraw our consent? So I said, yeah, that's a very good idea. And I said, we will write a letter, you and I, separately to the Chief Justice Bombay, that was Justice Sabarwal. And we both decided to write that letter, and we wrote that letter. And one of the phone calls he said, but I will call you Lordship from now. And I said, I will also call you Lordship from now that we are not going to be judges. So this name is something which we have used because we were not going to be judges, not because we were judges. And again, it was in this building that I went to Justice Sabharwal's chamber at Justice Chandrachud's prodding. He said, go and meet him and see what he's saying. As he received the letter, I went to Justice Sabharwal and I said, Chief, I am here on behalf of Mr. Dhananjaya Chandrachud and myself, and to tell you that we have withdrawn our consent for being judges of the High Court. And he said, yes, yes, I know, I've tore up both the letters, and is there anything else you want to tell me? So, the occasion and his presence here brings back many, many memories, and so does this place, this building. You know, when the Chief Justice, who was present here at the inauguration of the building, told the Viceroy of India, Lord Linlithgow, that this architect is a poet, and I invite Your Excellency to look upon his poem in stone. It is one of the most beautiful buildings in the country, and the Nagpur High Court Bar has been housed here for a long time. And I'm glad to be here in the presence of all the distinguished judges, almost all friends, and the Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court. There is something, it's by way of a suggestion to the High Court Bar Association, because I was looking up some things for this occasion, and I realized that you should, on an occasion like this, we should have the participation of many of the bar associations of Madhya Pradesh, because the High Court Bar Association, when it was formed, covered those areas as well. Only, I understand it will become a burden, but it's worth discharging. The Judicial Commissioners Court, and I won't go into details, many people have spoken about it, became the highest judicial authority in 1886. And I want to say something which is very close to my heart, has always been. And I've always said this about the Nagpur Bar wherever I have spoken, that the bar has been very eclectic. Its leaders came from all regions, all communities of India. We had Sir Bipin Krishna Bose, M.B. Kinkhede, J. Mitra, P.S. Kotwal, who was the Barrister Kotwal, who was the father of Justice S.P. Kotwal, Chief Justice Bombay, R.N. Mudhorkar, the father of J.R. Mudhorkar from Amravati, Sir Bhavani Shankar Niyogi, Vivian Bose, the son of Bipin Krishna Bose, Nisar Ali, and so many others. I believe it is a tradition and a character which we must all maintain, because this has been the origin of the bar. The bar shifted in 1940 to this new building, and the first case that was decided had a very interesting question of law. Whether a decree passed by a court in British India, that is Wardha, could be executed in respect of foreign property in a foreign territory, that is Yavatmal. And this was a serious question, and it was debated in the first case. That is because Yavatmal, Akola, Buldana and Amravati were considered foreign territories because they came from the Nizam on lease to the Britishers, and they're not part of Nagpur ever. In fact, Nagpur got included into the idea of Vidarbha much later. And very interestingly, when I see Shri Ane here, it reminds me that, and Mukesh Samant, it reminds me that the movement for a separate Vidarbha began because the people in Vidarbha were afraid that the 4 districts would go back to the Nizam, and not because Bombay or Maharashtra was in question at all. To prevent these 4 districts from going back to the Nizam after the lapsing of sovereignty, that the Vidarbha movement began and asserted the existence of a separate Vidarbha. Anyway, that was the first case. Since then, the bar, through its advocates and the judges who were appointed from it, has been concerned with some really stunning cases. There's no time to go into them. But the Narayan Rao Vaidya sedition case, the Chimur Ashti case, in which people convicted of murder suddenly found that after independence they were heroes and were released, with Justice Hidayatullah as Advocate General then. Then a famous case which I first time heard Justice J.S. Verma narrate, that is a case in which Justice Vivian Bose treated a letter from the prison as a petition and hauled up the superintendent of prisons and told him that he will proceed for contempt against him because he withheld a letter from the prisoner. When the superintendent who was in court, Colonel Jathar, said that this is a letter, it's not a petition, he said a letter is a petition. And from this case onward, we are going to treat, the Nagpur High Court is going to treat a letter addressed to the Chief Justice from prison as a petition. This, I believe, is the beginning of the epistolary jurisdiction. Of course, J.R. Mudholkar spoke about, laid down the foundation of the basic structure doctrine. In Sajjan Singh's case, A.P. Sen asserted the right of the court to examine the validity of a detention during emergency. And interestingly, the Mathura rape case, which was decided in Justice Sirpurkar's home area, the judgment of the Nagpur bench, when it was reversed by the Supreme Court, created such a furor in the country that it gave rise to Section 114 of the Evidence Act, which in effect said that if somebody alleges consent in a rape case, then it is he who has to prove the consent. And many others which I will not go into today. The list of eminent judges and advocates is a long one, and it would be better if I do not begin it. One thing I'd like to point out, and that is the first thing I learned, that there are 2 things which have been hallmarks of the Nagpur bar. One is great learning, and the other is fearlessness and the nurturing of young advocates. The 2 things I want to mention in the passing, because I believe they've had a great socio-legal impact because of what the members of the bar did. One is that in 1922, and this is a subject which I am sure dear to Lordship's heart, You know, there was the Regina Guha case from Calcutta, where the Calcutta High Court in effect held that women could pass an LLB examination, but they could not be registered as legal practitioners. Interestingly, the Calcutta High Court said that a woman is certainly a person within the meaning of the word in the Act because of the General Clauses Act. Person includes male and female. But still, we cannot give the right to be enrolled as a legal practitioner because, and this is a very interesting reason, because it has never been done before. When the matter was, there was a legislation pending in the Central Legislative Assembly, and the bill that was being tabled was the inclusion of women in the electoral votes in India, electoral rolls in India. Sir Hari Singh Gaur got up and made the following proposal as an amendment. And that amendment was, and the government be further pleased to remove the sex bar held to disqualify women from enrollment as legal practitioners in the courts of this country. It is purely the only reason why, or at least the beginning of why women could practice was Dr. Sir Hari Singh Gaur's commitment to the principle of equality. Another great member of the bar who had an immense social impact and became the first Chief Justice of the Nagpur High Court was Sir Bhavani Shankar Niyogi, who was elected chairman of the Municipal Committee of Nagpur, that is the present mayor, I suppose. And he was a radical humanist, as Lordship like Rane. Tarkunde, Rane, Jagedar, yes. So, Sir Bhavani Shankar was a radical humanist. And Dr. Ambedkar and Sir Bhavani Shankar Niyogi were so close on their outlooks at the world that Dr. Ambedkar invited Bhavani Shankar Niyogi to preside over the massive function for conversion of Harijans to Buddhism in 1956. Sir Bhavani Shankar Niyogi did many other things, but his progressive outlook, I'm talking of those days, I'm sure had a tremendous impact on society. But it often is sidelined in the world of social media and WhatsApp these days. He lived to become 100 years old and never missed an evening walk. The bar has produced innumerable judges, lawyers, also Chief Justices of the states and India, governors, members of the Viceroy's Executive Council, ministers, and the only Chief Justice of India who acted as President of India and was also elected Vice President of India. I am sure the tradition will continue, for on our heels a fresh perfection treads, a power, and I want Justice Gavaí to listen to this for a while. No, because I'm ending. It has something to do with the future. And it says, for on our heels a fresh perfection treads, a power more strong in beauty, born of us and fated to excel us. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, my lord. It is always a delight to hear from your lordship and the treasure trove of knowledge that you leave with us. We at Nagpur always look forward to your lordship's visits. Honorable Justice Shri B.R. Gavaí has been one of the leading lights of the Nagpur bar. Even after his lordship's elevation, my lord's constant support and encouragement to the High Court Bar Association has been indispensable in carving out a niche for our bar on the legal map of the country. I request Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan Gavaí to kindly address the gathering.
My Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Justice Dr. Dhananjaya Chandrachud, my esteemed colleagues, Justice Abhay and Justice Prasanna Varale, my elder brother, Honorable Justice Sharad Bobde, the Honorable Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court, Shri Devendra Upadhyaya, the Honorable Administrative Judge of the Nagpur bench of Bombay High Court, Justice Nitin Sambre, my all esteemed brothers and sisters, present and past, the Learned Advocate General for State of Maharashtra, Dr. Sharad, the President of the Nagpur High Court Bar Association, Shri Pandey, Secretary Shri Amol Jaltare, all the office bearers of the association, the Honorable Justice Shri, the former judge of the Supreme Court, the Honorable former judges, Honorable former Chief Justices, all the senior lawyers, designated as well as non-designated, the President and the members of the Bar Association, Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, the member of the Bar Council of India, the office bearers of the various bar associations from different districts of Vidarbha who are present here, the members of the registry, the government officials who are present in large number, the Secretary General of the Supreme Court of India, Shri Atul Kurekar, the Registrar General, and the other members. I won't stand here for long, since we are all eager to hear the Chief Justice of today's function, Dr. Justice Chandrachud. In any case, I am speaking tomorrow, and today is the inaugural function of the Centenary celebrations. And I am sure that in the year-long celebrations which will be going on, I'll be coming again and again, and we'll get an opportunity to interact with you. At the outset, as a member of the Nagpur High Court Bar Association, I extend my warm welcome to the Honorable the Chief Justice of India to my own bar. It's indeed a great pleasure that my Lord Justice Chandrachud has agreed, and it's almost a flying visit. He has come by an evening flight and leaving by the night flight so as to resume his duties. I'm really grateful to him for sparing his valuable time amongst his busy schedule. It's a very proud moment in the history of the Nagpur Bar Association. For any institution, a centenary is one of the important milestones. And for me, as a member of this Bar Association, it's a moment to express my sense of gratitude to this association. Whatever I am today, I am because of the Nagpur High Court Bar Association. I recollect when I shifted my base from Bombay to Nagpur in 1990 and started learning from the arguments of the eminent senior advocates, the senior lawyers, and learning from them. It's because of two doyens of the Nagpur High Court Bar Association that I shifted to Nagpur. It was because of the advice of the then former Advocate General Bobde, who was in Mumbai, and the then Advocate General Shri Vihar Manohar, who were close friends of my father, that they advised me to shift to Nagpur to practice They advised me that this is your home turf and it is better that you shift to Nagpur, and I think that was the best decision that was in my career. This is an institution which has produced many eminent personalities, beginning from the first president of this Bar Association, Sir Hari Singh Gaur, who was one of the most sought after lawyers even before the Privy Council. He used to be engaged not by only Indian litigants, but also the litigants from other jurisdictions who were within the jurisdiction of the Privy Council. Bhaiya Sahib M.R. Bobde has been referred by Justice Hidayatullah in his memoirs as to be one of the finest lawyers that he had seen in his career as a judge. As referred by the earlier speakers, this bar has produced the eminent judges in the Supreme Court: Justice Vivian Bose, Justice Hidayatullah, Justice Mudholkar, Justice A.P. Sen, and Justice Shirpurkar. It has given two Chief Justices, Justice Hidayatullah and Justice Sharad Bobde. As my Lord Justice Bobde referred to, one of the leading milestones in the Indian constitutional jurisprudence is Keshavanand Bharati versus State of Kerala. The doctrine of basic structure is evolved in Keshavanand Bharati, and the credit is given to Keshavanand Bharati. But as a proud member of Nagpur High Court Bar Association, I must proudly say that it is the two learned judges from this bar who have laid the foundation of the basic structure doctrine. It was in the case of Sajjan Singh, the minority view of Justice Hidayatullah and Justice Mudholkar, which has laid down the foundation of Keshavanand Bharati. Justice Mudholkar stated that the word used is amend, and whether the word used amend can also be construed to mean that the Parliament has a power to amend the Constitution in such a way that it takes away the basic features of the Constitution. Justice Hidayatullah stated that I would require a stronger reasons than given in Shankari Prasad to hold that the power of the Parliament to amend the Constitution is unlimited. This judgment, which is, we have just last year celebrated the Golden Jubilee of Keshavanand Bharati, and which still holds the power and which has kept the democracy of this country strong and united. This bar has given, some families of this bar has given generations of eminent lawyers. To begin with, Bhaiya Sahib Bobde, we had an illustrious Bhaiya Sahib Bobde who was known to be a very fearless lawyer and Advocate General for State of Maharashtra for more than one time. His illustrious son Vinod Bobde brought laurels to the Nagpur bar after being designated as the youngest senior advocate by the Supreme Court of India. His another son, Justice Sharad Bobde, became the Chief Justice of India. Shri V.R. Manohar, after becoming Advocate General, started mainly practicing before the Mumbai, even after he demitted the office of the Advocate General. It is said in Bombay that it is Mr. V.R. Manohar who taught the lawyers in Bombay as to what the lawyer's fees should be. And we had a rare distinction of a father and son duo adorning the office of the Advocate General. Mr. V.R. Manohar as well as his illustrious son Sunil Manohar have both adorned the offices of the Advocate General of State of Maharashtra. His eminent daughter, my sister Vasanti Naik, got a distinction of becoming the first woman judge from the Nagpur bench of the Bombay High Court. Shri Hari Ane also became the Advocate General of State of Maharashtra, and my another dear friend who also happens to be from Amravati, the state of Chhattisgarh had to borrow their Advocate General, initially Additional Advocate General from Nagpur. The list goes on. I don't want to be here for long because I'm again going to speak tomorrow. Shri K.H. Deshpande, the another doyen and one of the lawyers who was designated as the senior advocate at a very young age. His son R.K. Deshpande was my colleague in the Bombay High Court who recently demitted his office. It has also produced various Chief Justices, Justice V.A. Mohta and Justice M.N. Chandurkar, Justice J.N. Patel, Justice Ashok Desai, and lastly Justice B.P. Dharmadhikari, who happened to be the judge of the Chief Justice of Justice V.A. Mohta. I had an occasion to visit the Odisha High Court recently, about 4 or 5 months, again with regard to their centenary celebrations. And Justice V.A. Mohta is fondly remembered as one of the best Chief Justices that the Odisha High Court had. As a matter of fact, as junior lawyers, we learned before Justice V.A. Mohta and Justice Abhay, who I will be filling in duty to say that they were the judges who believed in equity and doing equitable justice. Justice Ashok Desai's contribution in Uttarakhand and subsequently which was followed by even Justice Shirpurkar in the environmental issues and cleaning of the Nainital Lake is still remembered by people in Nainital. The lawyers in the Nagpur Bar Association are also generous. I recollect when Justice Raga was elected as the president of the Bar Association and Anand Jaiswal elected as secretary and Anil Kilor was its executive member. They have established a beautiful library for the members of the association, and Justice Raga, with his skills, was able to get good amount of money from the members of the association for establishment of the library. Mr. V.R. Manohar donated a huge sum to establish a library in the memory of his father, R.K. Manohar. In the recent past, the contribution of Mr. Anil Kilor as a president of the High Court Bar Association cannot be forgotten. I may not be said to demean the contribution of all the past presidents and secretaries and office bearers of the association. Their contribution has been immensely vast, but on account of paucity of time, it may not be possible for me to refer to them. I am sure that this year-long celebrations will cherish the memories of our predecessors, the persons who have been as a beacon, as a role model for us. I have been working as a judge at Bombay, at Aurangabad, and also for a brief stint at Goa. And it is the judges from Nagpur and also lawyers from Nagpur who have been received tremendously well at Aurangabad as well as Mumbai. It would not be wrong to say that the judges from Aurangabad, from Nagpur, are treated to be the best judges either at Aurangabad and at Mumbai. I'm happy that Justice Sambre accepted my request to come back to his roots and serve the institution which has given him what he is. I'm sure that those who have disowned Nagpur and shifted elsewhere would follow suit and serve the institution which really requires and deserves their eminence and their knowledge. With this, I congratulate all of us on the completion of the 100 years of our most prestigious and august institution. Thank you and best of the luck for the year-long celebrations.
Thank you, my lord. We are extremely glad to welcome your lordship to your own bar and look forward to many more of your lordship's homecoming visits. The Honorable, the Chief Justice of India, is one of the foremost exponents of law the country has ever seen. We are tremendously honored to have His Lordship inaugurate the centenary celebrations of our bar. I invite Honorable Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud to enlighten us with his invaluable words.
Our senior and most respected brother, Justice Sharad Bobde, former Chief Justice of India, my very distinguished colleagues in the Supreme Court, Justice Bhushan Gavaí and Justice Abhay, respected former judges of the High Court and of the Supreme Court, Justice Sirpurkar is part of the audience, Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyaya, Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court, Justice Nitin Sambre, Administrative Judge, Judges of the High Court, Dr. Devendra Saraf, Advocate General, Member of the Bar Council of India and members of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, Mr. Atul Pandey, President Nagpur High Court Bar Association, the Secretary of the High Court Bar Association, members of the association, esteemed dignitaries, including officials of the state government, members of the registry, my own Secretary General, Mr. Atul Kurekar, ladies and gentlemen. Just this morning, I was reading a beautiful article in the New York Times by Justice Stephen Breyer about what judges of the Supreme Court do apart from disagreeing or agreeing with each other on the bench. In India, we tend to agree much more than the American Supreme Court. And the drift of the article is that despite the fact that judges express their views either in favor of what the other judge is saying or against the view so dispassionately and sometimes with a great deal of vigor, they are at heart very good friends. Justice Bobde narrated how we came to call each other Lordship at a time when the vagaries and uncertainties of the appointment process were confounding us as to whether we would at all become judges of the High Court. We decided to call each other Lordship, which we still do today. Justice Gavaí, to both Justice Bobde and me, is HMJ. So even today in the Supreme Court, when we meet in the coffee lounge, I welcome him because I normally arrive a little before he arrives. I always call him HMJ, welcome. I've had a long association with both the bar and bench at Nagpur. I had the privilege of sitting here twice for over 3 months when I was still cutting my teeth as a young judge of the High Court. And I learned a great deal from the bar. I spent very happy months here in the company of all of you who educated me in areas of law which I was not familiar with. But even before that, I was the beneficiary of members of the bar who made this cross-migration to Mumbai. Justice Bobde's distinguished father, Bhausaheb Bobde, and Justice Vasanti Naik's very distinguished father, Mr. B.R. Manohar. I can only tell you this, that one of the early cases which I appeared as a junior with Mr. Bhausaheb Bobde involved the withdrawal of the prosecution which was launched against the head of the Dawoodi Bohra community. And the test was, what is the test to be applied for the withdrawal of a prosecution of this nature? And I learned so much, not merely about the law, but about strategizing about the law from Bhausaheb in that case. Bhausaheb was flooded with work, far more work than he could handle, particularly after he became Advocate General. And ever so often I would get a call from him, and in his typical way he would say, Chandrachud, you go to Madgaon and argue this matter. And I would go to Madgaon and argue that matter because he couldn't do the matter. Speaking about V.R. Manohar, there was a case which was a very complex exim case, import and export case. Our senior, who was briefed in the High Court, names not to be taken, on every occasion that the case was listed, would say that I don't know anything about this case because it is so complex and please brief me all over again. The day before the final hearing was to start, we were told by the clerk of the senior that he is not going to accept the brief and he is returning the brief. The advocate on record was simply astounded because we had spent about 8 or 9 days in conference with the senior. So he asked me, whom should we brief? And I said, let's go and speak to Manoj Sahib, who has just come to Mumbai for some other case. So he said, I'm going to go back to my room at the Oberoi by about 12:30. Come and see me at 5 o'clock in the evening for conference. At 5:30, when we went to Mr. Manohar's room, he was completely ready with the facts and the law. He had typically his green register where he would make notes in his beautiful handwriting. And he told us at 5:30, I have 3 questions to ask you about this case. That's all that you need to answer. I'm ready with the case. As for the rest, I'm giving you a list of authorities. Please keep them ready in the court. Justice Gavaí, in his presentation, spoke about how glad he is that Justice Sambre has made the shift back from Mumbai to Nagpur to head this bench as the administrative judge. Of course, I support that. But equally, I do respect the fact that this cross migration is taking place between Nagpur and Mumbai. That was the tradition in which stalwarts from Nagpur came to Mumbai, established themselves as leading members of the bar in Mumbai. Likewise, lawyers from Mumbai appeared here, judges from Nagpur came and occupied important positions. I personally learnt a great deal in my early years as a judge of the High Court from senior colleagues like Justice Daga, who is present in the audience, with whom we shared so many happy moments discussing not just law but life as well. I learnt a great deal from members of the services, from the service judiciary who became judges of the High Court. Justice R.C. Chavan is here. As a young member of the bar who was appointed to be a judge of the High Court at the raw age of barely 40, I knew little about the district judiciary. But we learned a great deal about the district judiciary in our contact with members of the district judiciary who came to occupy important positions of responsibility in the High Court. So I do believe that this cross-fertilization of ideas, without regard to hierarchy, without regard to status, is crucial to promote the stability of our High Court as an institution. Speaking about Justice Mohta, I can really spend the whole night about sharing reminiscences, but just one last reminiscence and then I'll make a brief presentation on the subject for this evening. I was appearing before a division bench which was presided over by Justice Mohta in a very important case relating to a Sakhar Karkhana. The bench of Justice Mohta and Justice Jhunjhunwala was dead against us. Every time that we appeared before them, they would say that, well, there's nothing in the case. On the last date before Diwali, the matter was called out in chambers before Justice Mohta, and Justice Mohta turned to me and said, well, he said, counsel, would you like to take your chance before another bench? Today is the last date before the Diwali and the assignments will change as they do in Mumbai after Diwali. So would you like to go before another bench? We'll release this from part heard. So I looked at Justice Mohta and I said, my lords, I've argued this case to the best of my ability. I know that your lordship is completely against me. But I'm personally satisfied as a lawyer that I have said all that needs to be said in this case, and your lordships has understood everything that needs to be understood in this case. So I would request you now, please close this case for judgment. I will not take much of your time on the day before Diwali, but please deliver judgment. I understand that your lordships are against me. So the two judges looked at each other, they confabulated, and they said, well, we are also tired at the end of a long term, let this go before another bench. So please don't insist that we write the judgment in this case. So the matter was made departed. I re-argued it before another division bench and succeeded hands down with a full refund of tax. But later, Justice Mohta called me to his chamber and he said, irrespective of what happened in your case before some other bench, I must tell you that when you left the chamber, you grew in our respect because you placed the dispensation of justice above the needs of your own client. And that's what I wanted to begin by sharing with the members of the bar. So all of us have been beneficiaries of this great tradition of Nagpur. So this year I am delighted to be part of the centenary year celebrations of the Nagpur High Court Bar Association. On 6th of January 1940, when this magnificent High Court building was inaugurated, it was described, as Justice Bobde said, by the erstwhile Viceroy as a poem in stone. Even today in 2024, with all the advancements in technology and modern design, this building remains an architectural marvel. It is always a privilege and honor to be here. I also realize the limitations of my own mobile phone when I was trying to take a picture of the building sitting here, that the mobile phone, despite technology, cannot just capture the grandeur of the building. There are some things which you can only absorb and you cannot capture, which is so true to our tradition of meditation, reflection, introspection, and not necessarily of recording everything as we do in courts of law. The Nagpur High Court Bar Association has a unique history of being christened a High Court Bar Association much before the actual High Court was established in 1936. In 1928, almost 8 years before the High Court was established, the Bar Association renamed itself a High Court Bar Association and made fervent demands for a High Court to be set up in Nagpur. In fact, the members of the association not only advanced the demand to set up a High Court in Nagpur, but also to elevate members of the Nagpur Bar as judges of that court. The active and vibrant spirit of the association today is undoubtedly rooted in this rich and dynamic history spanning over 100 years. The Nagpur Bar has given to the country legal stalwarts and judges who have left a deep imprint on our judiciary and the jurisprudence of our courts. Two Chief Justices of India, Justice Hidayatullah, and my own very dear friend and elder brother, Justice Sharad Bobde, are products of this illustrious bar. The Supreme Court has been enriched by the invaluable contributions of several judges from the Nagpur Bar, such as Justice Sir Vivian Bose, in whose court I had the great privilege of sitting, courtroom number BB, Justice J.R. Mudholkar, Justice A.P. Sen, with whom I would spend many, many evenings as a visiting judge in Nagpur, Justice V.S. Surpurkar, and of course my own very dear colleague, Justice B.R. Gavaí. I'm confident that the Nagpur Bar will continue to foster excellence in advocacy and also contribute to the bench by producing many more distinguished members in the future. I'm sure so many of you will be guided by the examples of those who are in your midst, in Mumbai included, and Nagpur. Shri Haryanya is here. But we must also remember people who are unfortunately not with us today, like Justice Vinod Bobde, a lawyer par excellence and a human being par excellence. Bar associations at all levels in our district courts, high courts, and the Supreme Court play a significant role in democratizing the courtroom and facilitating the collaborative governance of our courts. They ensure that lawyers, both seniors and juniors, have a forum to express their concerns, suggestions, and ideas to collaborate with the government, the bench, and other stakeholders. On a day-to-day basis, it is the bar associations, as representatives of the lawyers, who directly engage with the court and the registry. Almost every day when I climb down from the steps of the Chief Justice's court, there would be at least 2 or 3 members of the Bar Association waiting to meet me. there is something so very urgent that they want me to attend to. Lawyers are central stakeholders in the functioning of our courts and active bar associations, such as the Nagpur High Court Bar Association, and they ensure that there is a constant and productive dialogue between the bar and the bench. Although many of us judges have been a part of the bar at different points in time, interactions with the associations ensure that we do not become detached from the everyday realities of our colleagues at the bar. The role of a bar association, however, must not be limited to only advancing the immediate concerns of lawyers. The role extends to a broader institutional responsibility to enhance the functioning of the judiciary and protect the dignity of the court. Bar associations must focus on improving the quality of advocacy at the bar and, more importantly, making our courtrooms more accessible and safe for our citizens. Recently, the Supreme Court took sumo to cognizance of an incident involving the manhandling of a senior advocate and a young lawyer in one of the district courts during a boycott called by the Bar Association not too far from Delhi. You are fortunate that these incidents are not par for the course in Nagpur. The specifics of this incident aside, it is incumbent upon the bar associations to ensure the safety of all the members of the bar when they come to practice before the court. With hybrid hearings, lawyers from across the country appear before courts in different regions. Bar associations must adopt a more accommodative and inclusive approach, ensuring safety and welcoming all the members of the bar who practice before that court. I was pleased to hear about the legal aid project called Nyaya Doot run by the Nagpur High Court Bar Association to ensure pro bono access to legal resources for persons residing in the villages in the Vidarbha region. I urge the younger members of the bar to contribute to such initiatives. It serves as an opportunity to not only use your premier education and training to secure justice to ordinary citizens, but it is also a way to sharpen your legal skills and advocacy. Similarly, the steps taken by the Nagpur High Court Bar Association to mentor and improve the skills of younger members of the bar by regularly organizing lecture series and study circles must be appreciated. My last act before I left my position as visiting judge at Nagpur to go to Mumbai was to deliver a lecture on international law, which the bar had requested me to deliver. I must also highlight the importance of having an independent bar and, as a result, independent bar associations. The judiciary has time and again risen to the occasion to assert its independence and non-partisanship, a separation of powers from the executive, the legislature, and vested political interests. We must not forget, however, that there is a close link between the independence of the judiciary and the independence of the bar. The bar as an institution is essential to preserve judicial independence, constitutional values, and the dignity of the court. In a vibrant and argumentative democracy like ours, most individuals have a political ideology or inclination. To quote Aristotle, human beings are political animals. Lawyers are no exception. However, for members of the bar, one's highest loyalty must not lie with partisan interests, but to the court and the constitution. In many ways, it is an independent bar that is a moral bulwark to protect the rule of law and constitutional governance. Judgments of our constitutional courts are the culmination of rigorous proceedings, thorough legal analysis, and a commitment to constitutional principle. But once the judgment is pronounced, it is public property. As an institution, our shoulders are broad. We stand ready to receive both praise and criticism, bouquets and brickbats, be it through journalistic pieces, political commentary, or on the social media. But as members and office bearers of bar associations, with years of training and experience, you must distinguish yourself from the lay person while reacting to judgments of the court and engaging in legal discussion. Of late, I have been very disturbed by the tendency of members of bar associations to comment on cases which are pending before the court and of commenting on judgments delivered by the court. You are first and foremost officers of the court, and the dignity and truth in our legal discourse is in your hands. As members of the bar, it is incumbent upon you to communicate the judgments of the court to the public, utilizing platforms such as opinion pieces in newspapers, media appearances, and public lectures. In this sense, the bar has the potential to act as a bridge between the court and the citizens. In fulfilling your role, the bar can effectively translate complex legal concepts and precedents into accessible language for the public, fostering a deeper understanding of our constitutional values and the true purport of our judgments. On many occasions, I have spoken about the need for representation of women in the judiciary and as members of the bar. Statistically, the number of women lawyers practicing across the country has increased manifold over the last few decades. There was a time when you would enter a high court or even the Supreme Court and only see a sea of men. Many female advocates recall a time when they were the only lawyers going through security checks for women, while long queues formed at the men's security check outside the Supreme Court. This situation is radically altered today, with a large number of women not only formally joining the bar, but also setting up a thriving practice. Recently, the Supreme Court designated 11 women as lawyers as senior advocates in one go, signaling the change in the demographic of our successful lawyers. The Nagpur bar is no exception. Of the 3,000 members, more than 500 members are women. As the demographics are changing in the legal profession and more young women are entering the field, this number will only increase. However, even as the number of women lawyers is increasing at an unprecedented pace, this trend is not reflected in the composition of our elected bar associations or even our bar councils. When there are no formal barriers to contesting elections and the number of women lawyers is increasing, the question that arises is, why are more women not contesting and winning elections to bar associations or bar councils? This lack of representation is not unique to the Nagpur Bar Association, but permeates to bar associations and bar councils across the country. A study which was conducted in 2021 revealed that only a meager 2.04% of the elected representatives in the 21 state bar councils are women. Not a single office bearer of the Bar Council of India is a woman. There is only one woman member in the Supreme Court Bar Association Executive Committee. Contesting elections for bar associations and for bar councils requires extensive networking, campaigning, and soliciting of votes, which often leads to the formation and perpetuation of an entrenched old boys club. This environment can act as a significant disincentive for women, discouraging them from participating in these elections, let alone engaging in campaigns and successfully winning them. It is not enough to remove formal barriers to women lawyers contesting elections. It is the responsibility of the existing male office bearers to not only encourage and support women lawyers who stand for election, but also make the environment conducive for them to stand a fair chance. I am optimistic that the Nagpur Bar Association, with its glorious history of fostering social change, will take proactive measures in this direction. I also urge all the women advocates in the audience to assert their position in the Bar Association, come forward, contest elections, and hold positions of responsibility. In many ways, the city of Nagpur holds immense importance in the life of our republic and the life of one of the founders of our republic, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. It is here that Babasaheb embraced Buddhism, and his final remains are enshrined in the central dome of Diksha Bhumi Stupa. Additionally, Shantivan, housing a museum with Dr. Ambedkar's personal belongings, can be found in the nearby village of Chicholi. This year marks not only the centenary of the Bar Association, but also 100 years since Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar began his law practice. In honor of this milestone, the Supreme Court established a statue of Dr. Ambedkar, symbolizing his guiding presence as we fulfill our constitutional duties. In a sense, a little part of Nagpur is now forever a part of the Supreme Court. Dr. Ambedkar's motivation to pursue a legal practice was rooted in the independence a legal practice provides. Legal practice was liberated from the feudal hierarchies of caste, which he fought against and mobilized public opinion. Dr. Ambedkar believed that in colonial India, the legal profession alone allowed an individual to remain independent from the government and social forces. He valued his independence from an undemocratic colonial government and a caste-ridden society over monetary or commercial gain. This motivation to pursue law for autonomy and freedom that the profession imparts stands true even today. The ability and responsibility of a lawyer to act without fear or favor, ill will or affection must continue to guide us as members of the legal profession. In a judgment authored by Justice Vivian Bose, a former judge of the Supreme Court of India and an illustrious member of the Nagpur High Court Bar Association of this court, Justice Bose observed, "The Constitution is not for the exclusive benefit of governments and states. It is not only for lawyers and politicians and officials and those highly placed. It also exists for the common man, for the poor and the humble, for those who have businesses at stake, for the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker." Let us all remember that our constitution is an inclusive constitution. It is intended to bring together the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. So just as this building is said to be a poem in stone, Justice Vivian Bose was a poem personified in verse, as he wrote. I would conclude by saying that as you carry out your responsibilities as professionals, advocates, and officers of this constitutional court, remember that your foremost duty lies towards ensuring justice and upholding the rights of every individual, be it the baker, the candlestick maker, last but not the least, the butcher as well. Thank you. Each of you carries a heavy mantle of excellence to uphold. I am certain that all members of the Bar Association will live up to the illustrious reputation of this historic bar, embodying integrity, diligence, and excellence in your legal practice. Justice Gavaí said before he ended that he is not making a long speech because he will speak tomorrow and come back during the year-long celebrations. I made a long speech, but I expect that I will also return during the year-long celebrations. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, my lord. I believe we can all rise as a standing ovation to the Honorable, the Chief Justice of India. Indeed, after hearing his lordship, under the reflection of this beautiful poem in stone, it is hard to say what is more towering, the building or your lordship's stature. Thank you, my lord. The High Court Bar Association would like to take this opportunity to express their profound gratitude to all our esteemed dignitaries who have graced the occasion with their august presence. I request Advocate Atul Pandey, President of the High Court Bar Association, to present a token of our appreciation to our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud.
I request Advocate Amol Jaltare, Secretary, to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan Gavaí.
Thank you. I request Advocate Pankaj Tidke, Vice President of the Bar Association, to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice Abhay Oak.
Thank you. I request Advocate Sharad, Vice President of the High Court Bar Association, to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice Prasanna Varale.
Thank you, my lord. I request Advocate Madhav Lakhe, Treasurer, to present a token of our appreciation to Honorable Shri Justice Sharad Bobde.
Thank you. I request Advocate Prithviraj Chauhan, Joint Secretary, to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyaya.
I request Advocate Vishwajit Singh Oberoi, Library in Charge, to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice Nitin Sambre.
Thank you. I request Advocate Apurva Kole, Executive Member of the HCBA, to present a memento to Shri Birendra Saraf, Learned Advocate General of Maharashtra.
Thank you, my lords. I now kindly request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem. Thank you. I request the Executive Committee of the High Court Bar Association to kindly come forward for a group photograph with the dignitaries. And I request everyone to kindly join us for dinner. Thank you.
सर पूर्ण